Oh, coffee, so good, so warm.
I finished mine. I've been drinking coffee a lot, as we were talking about before I started the show. So
Yep.
I've been drinking coffee creamer in my coffee, which is a new experience for me, and actually pretty crazy. Completely changes the taste of the coffee, right? Who knew?
Yeah, a little bit,
But I've been drinking. I got one because it was on sale right after Thanksgiving ended, which was pumpkin spice latte. And I was like, look, I don't love pumpkin spice latte, but it's cheap.
yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yes, that's not. Yes, yes. No,
But it was cheap.
there's a reason.
Yeah. I wondered why they had so many of them left.
There's a reason.
All right. Well, we are live on all platforms
Everything's working.
because we already have somebody watching on YouTube. So awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The Discord notification and
Don't no, send it out. Send it out.
go.
Yeah, it's got the. I got the YouTube one. I haven't got the Discord. That's Discord one. Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
There it goes. You know, I've got a Twitter account. I just never used it.
I don't blame you.
I never even started. Never even looked at it.
Yeah.
I just made the account. That was it. And never done anything. Yeah, it'd be kind of funny to go ahead and actually put something out. You know.
Yeah. Why not? Right.
First post on Twitter. Anything interesting going on?
Right before the end, as all the doomsayers are saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing really that fits the mold that Twitter's carved out, so I don't think it's like gonna be dead anytime soon.
People ruin everything.
They
You can
do.
point fingers you want to. At the end of the day, people ruin things.
Yeah. Could you bring your audio up just a little bit?
Yes, I can. Is that better?
Oh yeah, that's way better.
Okay. You have a perfect global platform for instant communication around the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on some form of fashion, basically, in theory, you can talk to anybody openly.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah. We use it to gripe about first world problems. So.
Yep. It's also the only place where you can say, like, this is a tweet that people retweet all the time. It's the only place where you can say, I like pancakes, and somebody's reply will be, I can't believe you hate waffles.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Yeah. Yes.
So speaking of Twitter, I do have a pre-show topic for us.
Okay.
And I have a tweet that I've pulled up here that I would like to read to you. There was someone talking about how they don't want, because there's rumors of a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake being announced at the Game Awards.
Really? Okay.
Just rumors right now, nothing confirmed.
Just rumors. Fair enough.
But this person says, no, I don't want a Metal Gear Solid remake. It's one of the few games I feel where a remake will completely fumble the original vision, right?
Okay.
Somebody quote tweeted that and said, I hate y'all, I want to preserve things how they are types. It needs a remake because the original is unplayable and dated.
Dated, yes. Unplayable, no.
I resisted the urge to quote tweet them back.
All right.
It took everything I had to hold myself back. But I just wanted to see the look on your face and to hear you with that unplayable. A PS1 game is unplayable.
Well, it's just like it's like the basis that they go off. Oh,
Glad you're
good
here.
deal. Glad you're here. Very glad you're here. You know, the basis that, but by their standards, you would have to say Pong is unplayable, right?
Right. Yeah, because it's too old.
Too old, so it doesn't play by today's standards.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unplayable,
right?
At all. And from like I said, in the digital history, gaming history, it's somewhere you need to stop and look at.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to have a remake of it.
Sure.
Make it run like it was supposed to now. The idea is there.
Yeah, make it run the way it runs in my brain when I think about Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yes.
Where everything's smooth and there's no jank.
Right. No. Yeah.
But it still absolutely runs today. I think people throw that word unplayable around all the time. And there are very few games that are genuinely unplayable. Balan Wonderworld is not unplayable.
What's up, Will?
It's close, but it's not unplayable.
Yeah. Well, it's like
I will.
there should it's like the 1 through 10 scale, right? There should be
Yeah.
so few games be so rare that you give a game a 10.
Yeah.
But also you just, I'm trying. The it should be so to give a game a 10, but it's also gonna have to be rare to really give a game a real 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
It has to be real bad.
Yeah. And now
It's
4 is the one.
4 is the new one.
It is unplayable at times. See, look, I agree with you to a point because when you can't jump in a platformer, that's pretty unplayable. But there are times where it is playable.
But even as horrible as Battle Wonderworld is, I'd be hard pressed to give it a 1.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's got some really cool designs in it.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
You
I
know,
would.
the gameplay failed.
If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it a 3. I think a 3 is fair because it has cool ideas. There's some interesting storytelling. I don't know if it's good storytelling, but it's interesting, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And as you said, some of the designs are really good. It just functionally fails as a video game.
Like the only game I can think of that I would give a 1 to is not a 1 is the old 2600 ET game.
Yeah.
That is unplayable.
Maybe Superman 64.
Yeah.
That might get a 2 because you can technically beat it, but
it might get a 2 because you get to fly around as Superman. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
working.
Yeah, that's the only thing that game's good for.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
I'll say this is apparently according to that game, little rings in the sky do not stand a chance against Superman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not the ideal Superman, no.
All right. Oh, let's kick this show off then. We're about 7 minutes into the pre-show.
All right. Let's go for it.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
Rungren's back with us this week, and
Yep.
we got a pretty big show today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. New Gundam Breaker. New Gundam Breaker, I would probably give like a 5 or a 6. It's not great, but it is technically playable, and you can still make Gundams. It's probably the most disappointed I've been in a video game in a long time.
Fair enough.
However, we always start the show off with weeks. So, Rungren, how's your week been?
Well, it's been pretty good. I had a decent week. Still watching True Blood.
Yeah.
And I think I've given, like I said, it's so well cast. A lot of the characters, like the individual character arcs, are still good, but it goes to a place with like the main story that's too big for this show.
I got you.
That's why I think that's the problem. The story they're trying to tell is not believable on that level.
Yeah.
At the home level or the state level, yeah. When it tries to get international, I think it's just too big for the show, but it's still good. Still watching it through. We got I think two more seasons.
Okay.
To go through it. But they man, this is probably it's gotta be at least the third time I've watched through it. I do. You can lay the cheese on too thick. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, right. So it's definitely got the right. There's some parts in it just so cheesy, but it's the right amount of cheese.
Yeah.
It's like if Hercules and Xena, those are cheesy, so cheesy, and I love them.
Yeah.
They're not, they know they're putting on the cheese, right?
Right.
Disappointed. But True Blood, I don't know. It's got the right amount of cheese in there.
Okay.
And everybody, I think one thing I like about it, everybody is all just problems, all kinds of problems, all kind of personal faults, just problems they got to deal with. It is a tragedy. It is high tragedy, high Southern vampire tragedy.
Yeah.
On that, everybody's got a problem. The people you like, you're like, oh man, they're gonna do something. You're like, ugh. with that. The people you hate, there's the coldest of villains on there can still at times uh come from an understandable position.
I got you.
Right.
That's a good way to
And
do your villains too.
yeah. It's like, okay, well, yes, he is evil, but he loved him, so I get it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good. Now I also watched I did watch the Guardians of the Galaxy the holiday special.
Okay. I've heard good things about it, but I've not seen it.
Okay. I'm biased on this. I loved it, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's to me, it was done perfect. We were talking about cheese earlier. It's got the cheese you would expect, right?
Yeah.
The Kevin Bacon is absolutely wonderful in it. It takes shots, like real shots at Hollywood and just the whole and it is it is strictly secular Christmas, right?
Right.
It's not trying to tell any of the Christian side of it.
Right.
It is a Santa Claus secular Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to stick through, and the idea that goes behind it. It's just watching these guys kind of make fun of themselves because they make a lot of money just, acting like space heroes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It was good. It was, if only the Star Wars one had been something like this.
But Life Day.
and maybe that's because in my mind, I don't know what it was. Maybe just because it said holiday special or whatever. I don't know what it was. But of course, my mind automatically connected to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the second Ewok movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Chewbacca's uncle is a main character in the holidays. Lest we forget.
Gosh. Yes. But it was good, man. And I think it runs about like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't think about it too hard. They've got lots of Easter eggs and there are lots of callbacks to early episodes and stuff. And the Marvel stuff that has come out so far is really lighthearted.
Yeah.
And I think it hits. It feels more like a comic book than some of the other stuff they've been doing.
Cool.
But I liked it. I'm trying to think of anything else I had on my list. I don't think so. That was a tour watch because we played Lotro yesterday.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I love doing that.
Unironically excited for when Game of the Year is done so that I have more time to be able to like play around with some of the other classes. Trying to convince my girlfriend to play. I'm really liking it, man. I think like go ahead.
I'm just trying to think. There's nothing groundbreaking,
right,
in that game, but I get to go to these places that I know and these characters that I know. I don't know. It's really I like it a lot.
Well, and I think it hits a cool balance for me because the other MMO that I'm playing, Guild Wars 2, that I haven't really got to play much of because Game of the Year either, is very different as an MMO, right? It's a very different kind of MMO. Progression is voluntary. Yeah. Once you hit level 80, you can just wear the same gear forever. Never have to change anything. Never have to do anything different. And it's just options everywhere. But it's missing a lot of that like structured leveling experience that pushes you through a way. And I've already done that on Final Fantasy 14 like 5 times. I don't want to do it again there because I've done it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I've done it. I want to play around with different stuff. And so, Lotro and Guild Wars 2 together are kind of like completely satisfying me MMO wise.
Nice. Perfect. A perfect balance. You have it. Find the balance in gaming.
A game you've been waiting for forever just dropped. Sorry, Lotro's got to wait a bit. And we're going to talk about that update in a little bit. That's a pretty big thing. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that covers my week. How has your week been?
So. Well, it's been pretty good. I finished Castlevania, the Netflix Castlevania.
Yeah.
Finished all 4 seasons of that. I'd already seen the first 2, but rewatched them because I'd heard 3 and 4 fell off, but I was really excited because I love that series. I've said it many times on this channel. Metroidvanias are my favorite type of games. Castlevania's full of those, so I've played most of them. It does fall off, unfortunately. The writing starts to get really strange, and plot lines just die.
Yeah. I think sometimes this is a theory. I think sometimes shows go on longer than they
Yeah,
should.
for
It'd
sure.
be disappointing that you didn't get more out of it, but yeah. You
And-
passed your point for happy ending, so to speak.
Right. They absolutely did. Season 2 was a perfect ending for that show. And there's still great action that happens. Absolutely. The action is incredible. But some of the plot choices are just really strange. And some characters just constantly get like cool moments taken away from them. And then the show like kind of tries to make up for it right at the end with like, here's a really cool moment for that character. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But why did this happen? Like, why did we get here? What, like,
Yeah.
And so I saw some people say, well, that's just what like the games are. It's like, no, the games have story and they're well told. You just have to like figure it out for the most part.
Yeah, you have a path to travel. You pick up things on the Yeah.
And I think part of it is that it's clear they shot above, and I'm not trying to put down either writers here, but they shot for something greater than they had the capacity to make in their time frame. And so there's like a big siege scene, and I'm trying to be vague. There's a big siege scene in season 4, where instead of staying in the place they're supposed to be protecting and defending and just blocking stuff off and fighting them as they come in, all of their fighters go outside the castle to fight. And I could not help but have flashbacks to Game of Thrones where they put the catapults outside the walls.
Yeah.
And went, why? what are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying there's never a reason to sally forth from the castle or you know, your fortress or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's pretty big. Yeah, there's some thought that goes into that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be pretty much 100% sure you're getting away with it.
About the time they go, the archers can't fire because our people are in the way. It's like, yeah, that's why you keep the people inside and the archers fire until the stuff gets there. So yeah. But yeah, you know, Castlevania, still action was great. The stuff from the games is done really well. I will never forgive them for not introducing one of the main characters from that cast in Dracula's Curse. That just doesn't come to the show at all. I will never forgive them for that.
But I agree. Okay. The art style they picked and they went with
looks so good.
Fits it so perfectly. It
100%.
Absolutely looks good.
I completed 5 games for Game of the Year.
You have a problem, sir.
I beat Pokemon Violet. I talked about that a little bit last week. Great game. Absolutely great game. I wish that people didn't have the performance issues that they're having, and I wish I didn't have the frame drops. But other than that, absolutely enjoyed it. Probably my favorite Pokemon game definitely my favorite in a long time. Top 3 of all time.
Well,
I'm so stoked to play through it again. I can't because Game of the Year, but I'm so stoked to play through it again.
Right. At some point.
Yeah. I do. We're not sponsored by them. They're not getting free advertising from me. I also then beat Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I hadn't beaten earlier in the year. Tried to record a review on it, and the review just wound up talking about the pros of Arceus and the cons of Arceus versus Violet, which isn't really fair to that game. So I'm probably going to re-review that game and release that as a separate video. But again, really, really cool game. Not jonesing to replay it as much as I am Violet. I think that the cool things that it has, which again, that whole video is going to come out. You don't need to hear it all right now. But I think the cool things that it does and the cool things that Pokemon Violet and Scarlet do, if they could put both of those into the next games in both of those series, move forward with both those steps, both teams talk to each other instead of just making their own thing, both those games will be amazing.
Okay.
If they do that. Cool ending, though. Really liked the ending of Legends Arceus. Then I beat Vampire Survivors. Really, really fun game. I still need to unlock a couple of the secret characters, but there is definitely an ending. I'd mentioned before that I was worried I wouldn't find a good ending point to call it for Goaties. There's credits. There's a final boss, and that final boss is super cool. So
Okay.
that game's
Okay. Yeah, they
worth
gave you a
checking out.
stamp. They gave you a stamp.
Yeah,
Because right here is where our story ends.
yeah. They
Fair
even
enough.
gave me big fireworks, and then it said congratulations, and I was like, yeah.
Sounds like an ending to me.
Then I beat 5 games. What was it? Sonic Frontiers. Talked about that a little bit last week as well.
Okay.
Really, really great game. Again, definitely unfinished, unfortunately. Needed a little bit more time in the oven to get everything right, but the good about it is so good that I can forgive it.
Okay.
One of those is the soundtrack. The soundtrack to the game is incredible. Really like to do a video at some point where we have you listen to some of that soundtrack just to get your reaction to it. We wouldn't be able to monetize it at all, but I think that'd be a really fun video to do. You don't think you've ever finished a game at all?
Right.
Wow.
Or I'll get all the games out. I'm gonna get all my games out. We're gonna finish a game.
And then the last one that I finished was Tunic.
The video went up today.
Yeah. Absolutely adore that game. That it is OG Legend of Zelda with better controls for the most part. There's some finicky stuff with the targeting system that I don't love. And the thing that I think there's a couple that counts, that's a game. Not a video game, but it counts. You would probably really like this game.
Yeah.
Because the crux of the game the crux of the story is you don't learn the crux of the story by the game like cutscene telling you. You learn it by finding pages for the manual.
That's interesting.
And you use the manual to figure things out and learn your way through the game. It's not super long. I beat it in 13 hours, but I like it a lot. That's a really cool game. And it's free on GamePass. I mean, I'm just saying, if anybody out there listening wants to play it, you know. Then I got to try out Darktide, Warhammer 40k Darktide.
Yes.
Haven't finished that one yet because I'm working on Xenoblade, but that and Digimon are next. I'm gonna beat all these games by the end of the year, man. Darktide's really cool. It very much is like Vermintide, but 40k, and your options for classes are the soldier guy, just your regular Imperial Guardsman, a psyker, which means they use psychokinesis and things like that. They can set people on fire with their mind. A Ogrin, which is a big, like, strong guy with a chain gun, or a zealot, who is somebody that is completely bought into the Imperial, like, creed and believes the Emperor is a god and is their god and is the only thing standing between them and chaos. And he has 3 options for voices, and one of them's an Irish guy. And so I'm running around as an Irish zealot, just yelling out, "Emperor, see me!" as I, like, slaughtered chaos cultists. It's really cool. I like that game a lot.
Work out of a lot of aggression.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty great. There's, like, so many little small details that I love, too. Like, my main weapon is a shovel right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I use the shovel and melee with it. But when you sprint, he, like, grabs the shovel higher up to be able to run with it. And then when you stop sprinting, he, like, flips it up and grabs it lower to be able to swing it.
Yes.
Somebody worked really hard on that animation, and it sells that entire game for me.
Yeah. It's nice. Those little things that look, that's not necessary for gameplay at all.
Nope.
That's just an added touch.
But thank you for making it.
Right.
And then finally, I've been working on Xenoblade. I'm in chapter 5 of 7, so I'm getting close to the end.
Okay.
When I tell you they made this game for me, there is a plot point that involves putting eye patches on your characters. They made this game for me.
No.
I am not sure at this point that Monolith Soft did not check the channel, see my reaction, because the Xenoblade reactions are pretty, not bad view wise, and the Xenoblade streams are not bad view wise. And somebody went, he would really appreciate it if we made it a plot point to put eye patches on the characters for a little while.
Oh,
it made it for
oh
me.
no.
So yeah, that's game of the year.
Hands down, winner.
No, it's still really good. I like it a lot. I'm really interested in where the story's going. I've somehow managed to stay unspoiled. If you put a spoiler in the comments, I'm not gonna read the comments. So just don't even bother. But yeah, that's that's been my week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So let's get into reviews.
Yeah, before we get demonetized or something. I don't know.
Now, I mentioned at the start of this podcast that this is a big show. That's because it is, just for everybody. This is a big show. I did not expect us to have this much news before the Game Awards, which is Thursday, by the way, people. Yeah. Right around the corner. I'm really surprised by how much news we actually have before the Game Awards. But let's get started with reviews. And before anybody says, hey, why is the ice cream different? Look, deleted my OneDrive folder. I didn't realize it was tied into everything on my computer. I lost all of my files and all of my pictures and had to remake the entire layout today for the podcast. So you got a problem. Take it up with Microsoft.
Wow. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will find the original ice cream again, but this week we got to deal with this mini scooped monster.
Nobody wants it now.
I told you every time I have to make a new one, it's gonna have more scoops. I haven't even told you the name of the game yet, babe. The first game is The Night Witch. Now, this is an interesting one.
All right.
This is by Super Mega Team. It is a Metroidvania mixed with a shoot 'em up.
Okay.
But you're like a small child that can fly, and you have free flight around the levels.
I don't know. I'm gonna go. Things have been overdone quite a bit. Unless they pull off something great, I'm gonna go 76.
Okay.
83 and 99, 85. Oh, excuse me, 99, 85.
I'm not surprised. YouTube lag starts to really stretch out for some reason. The score is 71.
71. So it was low. We had a couple people pulling for it there, trying to get some high marks off of it. But yeah.
I wish my camera would not just decide to stop focusing. I think it's because the green screen's not behind there anymore.
Proceed.
All right, so let me give you some reviews.
Okay.
First off, we have Goddess Geek that says The Night Witch not only looks stunning, but the gameplay is tight and inventive, providing an enjoyable bullet hell extravaganza.
Okay.
Doesn't really tell you anything.
No.
Right? And then the next one I have for you, we're just going to do two because of how many we have game-wise today. Tech Raptor says, a game seemingly fighting its own presentation and message, The Night Witch instead alienates the player with smug self-awareness, milquetoast cynicism, and some truly awful genre mashing.
72.
All right. Let's see if this fixes the zoom.
Oh.
Did not fix the zoom. Well, we'll get it figured out. The score is, I got a 76 and a 70 on the table. The score is 73%.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Nobody quite
Pretty
got
close.
it, but everybody was
Yeah.
close.
Oh, it's pretty close. All right. Well, it didn't sound like they were going to recommend it, even though they kind of gave that first one was a weirdly glowing review.
Yeah. Rungrim was very close.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Next up, we have a game you might be excited to talk about, might not be. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this a score, and it's probably a very hopeful score.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say 88.
Okay.
All right.
Got a 73 from Faith.
I got 88. A little time.
Faith says
79,
no.
It's not 73, it's 75.
75. 79 for Faith. What did I say? Did I say 75?
73. No, you said
Oh.
73.
Well, there we go.
All right. I got an 88.
The score
85.
is 83.
83.
But it's just
Okay.
around it.
Yes. Yes.
I hope you're ready for this review. This is from
All right.
BGC. Oh, it is ad time. I should wait to read this till after the review. I'm going to take a drink during it.
Fine.
I'm
Take
also
you a
gonna
drink.
see if my camera is fixed or not. Put
don't
this
know.
back on auto. Let work. Also realized that it's probably not. I keep changing it in OBS, but it's going through Discord, so it probably doesn't matter that I change it through OBS.
Yeah, maybe. Could be, possibly. Yes, no. Perhaps.
All right. Well, we're just gonna have to deal with it the way it is right now, and we will try to fix that later. Ad time should be done now.
All right. All right.
The last one, because you're getting 75. The last one was 83. The first review for you is from VGC, who says Marvel's Midnight Suns combines addictive, deep strategy gameplay with a cast of characters that make the moments outside of the action just as rich and enjoyable as those in it. A lengthy campaign packed with missions to go on and relationships to form with Earth's mightiest heroes make Marvel's Midnight Suns a modern strategy classic and one of 2022's biggest surprises.
Hey. Seems like they liked it. Got another one?
I do. This one's from Press Start that says Marvel Midnight Suns is by and large an unfulfilling superhero title that is only as endurable as it is courtesy of how great Firaxis are at what they do. There's a lot of heroes and just as many hollow hellos between them that make me wish all of the story character drama was checked at the door for more of what Midnight Suns does well. Yeah, it looks like the
Okay.
ads aren't coming through at the same time for people, which is really interesting.
Okay. I'm gonna go 76.
Okay.
My recommended score there. 76. Welcome back, Will. Talking about Midnight Suns. I gave it a 76, 77. Yeah, I'm figuring around there too. I said I gave it a 76, 78, and
Don't have an ad, just bad leg.
and therefore
which is better,
she's
which
talking
is
in
worse?
with a 75.
Right.
We're all
91
around- What
is
was
the
it?
answer. 91%.
91.
We haven't got that high a recommended score in a long time. I bet you're right. They do depend on when you join the chat.
Gosh, chat, y'all are way off. Goodness.
People seem to like this one. It is in the 89th percentile of all games scored on OpenCritic, which is actually like really high praise.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, all right.
Next up, also just quick aside, I think I figured out what the problem is. This is me like not being able to stop thinking about something that's going wrong in the stream. It's because there's no light in the background, so it keeps trying to autofocus on the lights back there.
Oh.
I have another light in this house that I will set up for next week.
Okay. Okay.
Now I can stop thinking about it.
Okay.
Hello, Roxanne.
Hello,
Next up
gang.
is
We do.
Need for Speed Unbound.
Okay, this is like has to be like the 700th game in the series.
Yeah.
What's that?
This one has a what's it called? Season pass. It's a games as an online service kind of game.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. Oh, Faith stole Waverly 75.
Yeah, I'm going to 74.
We're off. You need to be too. All right. Need to hurry up. All right, we got a 75 from Faith and Waverly and a 69 from Roxanne.
All right.
The answer is... Oh, a 71 from Will. The answer is 77.
Okay. I think the last Need for Speed game I played and got really deep playing it and tried to unlock everything was the Need for Speed Porsche.
Yeah.
It was just Porsches. Yeah. That was a while back.
Now, I know that we're only reading 2. So, of course, I would look for the ones that give you the most information possible and not the memeiest ones, right?
No.
Attack the Fanboy says, bringing a fresh new art style to the franchise that we hope sticks around for years to come. This ain't your daddy's Need for Speed, and maybe that's a good thing. With Heat pushing the franchise in a bold new direction, Need for Speed Unbound borrows almost everything that made that title special and improves upon it.
It's a car game where you drive cars fast. Okay. All right.
Oh.
All right. Fine then.
Game Rant, however, says, as a result, Need for Speed Unbound feels like it comes to a stop before it ever gets going. The polish and the moment-to-moment gameplay cannot be ignored, but as a whole, Need for Speed Unbound is just another forgettable entry in the long-running franchise.
You know, well, might be my bias speaking. I'm gonna kind of believe that last line. I think Gran Turismo and the Forza series kind of left them behind, but that's a whole other discussion. 62. I'm gonna go 62 with the recommended. Like that. We got a 71, 69, 71, 70.
I'm so excited to tell you the score, chat. I'm so excited. The answer is 59%.
Oh yeah. They need to get back and just do a really good Hot Pursuit game.
Yep, Hot Pursuits. They just got to do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Just come on.
Next up, we have Warhammer 40K Darktide.
Okay.
Heard me gush about this game, but it's well known that I am a Warhammer fan. You can see them laid out there with my Gunpla that I've set up. I've actually only put Gunpla over here except for my Gian. I just love that we built on stream.
Nice. So this is the Darktide you were talking about a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 88.
Okay. Got an 82 from Faith. She believes in the power of the God Emperor.
Yeah. I just don't want you to feel bad.
That's
85.
right.
I'm gonna hit it right around the 80s there.
Hot Pursuit Remaster would be great.
Exactly. Yes. I'm talking about.
The score is 75.
Okay.
We had a late 79 from Will then.
Right on.
Also,
yes.
Just a quick aside on when I make comments like that, because the Imperium is very fascist in 40K. I've gotten some comments that are like, "Oh, Trey just buys into their ideology." No, that's the point of the universe, is that they're wrong, and it's very obvious they're wrong. The Emperor never wanted to be a god in that universe, right?
75.
That's true. Waverly does get back on the board again. I did not think about that.
Yeah. 75 is your answer every time.
But that's the whole point of it, is that when you play the Zealot in Darktide, it's ironic because if he says just one thing wrong, he gets put down as a heretic, even though he's clearly the most pious of them all.
Yeah.
So,
well.
let me read you some reviews here.
All right.
But Why, though, says, it's hard to translate just how satisfying it feels to tear through a horde of heathens in Darktide as its thunderous soundtrack plays to words. The best way to do so seems to be simply saying that it's spot on enough to surely please any fan of Warhammer or horde shooters. Darktide is a Primarch amongst Warhammer games, and it serves the Corpse Emperor admirably.
Okay.
And again, calling him the Corpse Emperor will get you killed and labeled as a heretic. So, it's the irony of it. It's what makes it so, beautiful.
Right. You got another one?
I do have another one for you, which is from The Gamer. Darktide is built on great foundations, and I enjoy playing it a lot, especially with friends. There's a brilliant game buried deep within the Hive world, filled with exciting combat and gruesome enemies in equal measure. However, to properly enjoy those glorious moments, you have to break through the pustular skin of Darktide's pointless upgrade systems and wade through the poisoned viscera of dull progression. I just hope that the countless... hiccups all of a sudden. Just hope that the countless obstructions in the live service elements don't turn too many players away from the game mired underneath. I have heard that if you're playing the Psyker, you really need to get to level 10 before that class opens up, which is a shame. But I haven't tried the Psyker myself because the Zealot was right there.
I think it's not going to be higher. I'm going to go 74.
Okay.
For the recommended on that.
Got a 77 from Faith, a 75 from Waverly. Just got to always remind myself that.
Yeah.
73 from Roxanne. 73 from Will.
Nice.
The score is 71.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Everybody was right there.
Everybody was very close on that. Ugh.
And then finally for today, review-wise, we have the Callisto Protocol.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now again, this is the game being made by the old Dead Space team from Visceral that left.
Yeah.
Can they capture that magic again, or will they falter without the backing they had before?
I want to give them. I'm going to go with a 92. It may not be that high, but I want to give it to them. And I think this game's going to be great.
Okay.
77 might be closer.
Pushing the button, chat. 95, ka-chow. All right, Lightning McQueen. I almost said Speed Lightning McQueen because that's what my cousin always called it when we babysat him. We watched that movie a billion times, probably.
I understand.
The score is 73.
Ooh. Yeah. All right.
When will we all be all right? Will we all be right? It's a good question. If that happens, we just shut the podcast down that day, right?
We're done.
Episode over. We'll see you next week.
Everybody go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. The first review here is from Dexerto. We've never read one of their reviews, I don't believe. A wonderfully exhausting exercise in futility is probably the best way of describing the Callisto Protocol, as no matter the strength of my own resolve, I was constantly on edge and reveling in those fleeting moments where the game allowed me to breathe following yet another life-threatening fight. The constant fear and dread incited by the phenomenal visual and sound design are only complemented by the compelling story. The Callisto Protocol is, hopefully, the start of an exciting new franchise and is another sign that survival horror is anything but dead.
Okay.
Pretty great.
That's a pretty good review, yeah.
Dual Shockers, though, says, a bland, sad protagonist with all the charisma of a rock, with a frowny face, a mystery box style narrative that only ends with more mystery boxes, a combat system that wants to be multiple entirely different games, The Callisto Protocol might function, and it'll certainly have its launch issues patched out in due time, but in no way can I recommend it to anyone but the most morbidly curious. Everything was stacked in this game's favor, and it still wasn't enough. We didn't need Dead Space 2.0, we just needed a cohesive, focused game. Instead, it's an oddly soulless concoction of unfocused ambitions, poor planning, and inconceivably amateurish design. Whether you're winning or losing, Callisto Protocol never feels right.
Okay, I don't know what that game did to hurt that person.
That's
But,
a really well worded review, though. Honestly,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not calling for anything against the devs. It's just like, look, this is the problem.
yeah. Man, I gotta go. I'm gonna go 63.
Okay,
63. We got a couple scores in 67, 65.
I have a bit of information that I did conceal from all of you because I'm
Okay.
just wonderful that way.
All right.
About this game, and I will reveal that after the scores are all given. So I
Okay.
will reveal the score. It is 48%.
Oh, that's a shot.
This game launched with De Novo and absolutely ruined it on PC.
Oh.
It is almost unplayable on most PCs. Digital Foundry on their PC was not able to run it well.
That's not good.
Nope.
Kind of pulling for that team a little bit too.
I was hoping I would find a good review that like mentioned De Novo so that I could slip that in. But when I saw those two reviews, I was like, yeah, I gotta read both of those. Those are too perfect.
Yes, definitely.
Why would they release it then? Because people think, like, devs and publishers think De Novo is good. They think, because what it does is anti-cheat, right? It stops you from being able to run cheat engine or anything like that because it's constantly pinging the server to let you know, or to let it know whether you're using cheat engine or not. The problem with that is it's constantly pinging the server while you're trying to play the game and making everything stutter. De Novo kills video games.
Yeah.
But they keep putting it in games. And then they patch it out after like 6 months.
Yeah. Which is like, I know they're trying to do the anti-cheat thing. The anti-cheat thing is not going to be easy.
Nope.
To fix.
Well, and there's so many ways around De Novo that people crack them. Yeah. Most games get cracked within like the same 24 hours of release.
Oh, yeah.
So why even do it, man? Come on.
Bother. All right.
Next up, we have announcements.
Okay.
I got some Game Pass games to talk to you about.
All right. Announce away, sir.
I'm excited about these two. So, coming to Game Pass, available today, Eastward, which is on cloud console and PC. It's, I guess an adventure game is probably the best way to describe it. You wield John's trusty frying pan and Sam's mystic powers on an unusual adventure into the unknown.
Okay.
That's right. Waverly is the ice cream queen this week. Congratulations.
Yes.
The ice cream queen.
I mentioned this. Must make sure the name's correct on there.
There's the quack. The Walking Dead, the final season, coming to cloud console and PC. It's the last season of the Clementine journey. Totally reliable delivery service is coming to PC. That's a really cool, weird game where you have like crazy physics related puzzles and things like that. So,
all right,
turn that off. That was okay. Coming soon, as in now today, December 6th, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga on cloud console PC. So that's all of those basically. Hello Neighbor 2 on cloud console and PC. You know, hey, you've been wanting to play that. There you go. Chained Echoes coming December 8th to cloud console and PC. I backed this game on Kickstarter a long time ago.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. It's an RPG that has a art style inspired by Chrono Trigger. And so I don't just mean like it's got the 16-bit art style or 32-bit art style. I mean, it's trying to look like Chrono Trigger in a really cool way. And it's got mechs that you can use. So, of course I backed it.
There's the win right there.
That's coming on December 8th, so everybody else can play it too. Metal Hellsinger is coming on December 8th. That is the FPS that's a rhythm FPS that's based on the beat of the music. I know you're excited for this one. High on Life is coming December 13th to cloud console and PC. That's the one with the weapons that won't stop talking.
Yes.
Potion Craft is coming on December 13th to console and PC. If you watched us play that game before and want to play it yourself, there you go. And Rainbow Billy, The Curse of the Leviathan to cloud console and PC on December 15th. It's a 2.5D action puzzle platformer. Now, of course, we got to talk about what's leaving. December 15th, Aliens Fireteam Elite will be leaving. Breath Edge will be leaving, which is a really interesting space game, but has a lot of a certain person whose name, if I say it, will get us demonetized from World War II. And I don't understand why it has so much of that person in there, and it kind of made me stop playing that game.
Okay.
Leave
it at that.
Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age is leaving, which is a shame. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Really, really ashamed that that's going away. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Firewatch is going away. That's another great game. Lake, I don't know what that is. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, again, another great game. That's a Musou game set in the One Piece universe. Neoverse, Race with Ryan, Transformers Battlegrounds. You still have Firewatch. Firewatch is pretty great. Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. And Record of Lodoss War Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. That's a Metroidvania. I made a video on that recently. It's interesting. I'm not super sad it's going away.
Fair enough.
I'll probably buy it on Steam if it ever goes down to like $1, but it's not a bad game. I just didn't necessarily love the way it controlled.
All right.
And that's our Game Pass games for this month. Nice. Now,
nothing to trade out there.
I think so. Some good stuff coming in. It's kind of a shame some of that stuff's going out, but what can you do, Right. Now, this next announcement is interesting. Because I was under the impression they were done with this series. And they're not.
Yes.
GB4, if only. Amnesia the Bunker has been announced. A lot of weird stuff about this. It wasn't announced at the Game Awards, even though Amnesia Machine for Pigs was years ago. They announced it within the same week as the Game Awards, basically, which feels really weird to me. And then this one has guns in it, which is like brand new to Amnesia. So it feels like they went, hey, we need to mix things up. Resident Evil did really well.
Yeah.
But it'll be coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass in March of 2023. No idea when it's going to release on other platforms. It will be exclusive for a little while.
A lot of stuff slated for spring next year, man.
Yeah. It will also be coming to Steam, though, just to clarify. And there are rumors that it's going to be coming to PS4 as well, but that's not on the card at the end of the trailer, so I'm not going to say it will. But there's a lot of rumors that it's going to get announced again at the Game Awards. There's so many Game Awards rumors right now, but the rumors that it's going to be announced again at the Game Awards, and then it'll be announced for PlayStation as well.
Okay.
Strange game. This last announcement we have for today came in last minute. Tales of Symphonia Remastered is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch on February 17th of next year. A lot of quick little weird things with this. It's not the Tales of Symphonia combo pack that comes with the sequel game. Dawn of New Worlds, I think is what that one's called. It's not that pack. It's not the PC version that's on Steam right now that is based on the GameCube version. It's not the 3DS version. It's the old PS2 version.
Okay.
which means it won't run at 60 frames. It'll only run at 30 frames.
Yeah.
But it does look good. I find it really strange when PlayStation 3 got the combo pack. So there is a existing build of that game that runs on PlayStation 3 that has never been ported anywhere else. But hey, maybe this means at some point they're gonna do a remastered version of the combo pack. There are mods that make the PC version on Steam playable, or you can just emulate it, and it's perfectly playable, like the GameCube version or the PlayStation 2 version. But it just feels really weird to go, yeah, here's the PlayStation 2 version again, but it's up-resed and looks nice. I don't know, but that's the thing.
Yeah. It is kind of weird to go. In some ways, it makes sense to go with that one. Like, hey, here, we want to show you what we can do.
Yeah.
With it. But
well, and Tales of Arise sold really well.
Yeah.
So it could be they're just going, hey, we need to work on that and get people into this series, so we'll release one of the best-selling ones. But it does mean the sequel is stuck on PS3 still. It's back there behind me in that white case.
That's where it'll stay.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I actually really like that one. I know a lot of people don't. I actually really like the sequel. But that's it for announcements today. And you may say, Trey, it's only an hour into the podcast. What do you mean this is going to be a big one? Well, run it on Xbox Series X? You're so right, Will. That's what I got to do. I got to get a Series X and run it on Series X because it can emulate PS3. You're so right.
Yes.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Those things are going to get really cheap soon.
Ugh.
Make a video of me emulating 3.
Right.
Runs
so great.
I really do want to play that game again, though, at some point. And PS3 emulation is not good on PC, so, But let's get into the news, because we have some good news, we have some cool news, and we have some really strange news.
Okay.
Warframe is finally getting their crossplay. They had announced crossplay as a feature they were working on a while back.
I guess that's what it was, because I thought they already had it.
Yeah. Yeah, they announced they were working on it and that it was going to work between all platforms. And then they announced the Switch version and broke it. So they've had to go back to the drawing board, but now it's finally out. You can play Warframe from PC, Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch and all play together. The only thing that doesn't have cross-platform play right now is there's a mobile version that they're working on. That one, there are some markets that already have it. That one you can't play cross-platform. And right now, there's no cross-save. So you can't jump between platforms and carry your characters over right now. But they are working on cross-platform save. They don't want to say when they're working on it because they don't have any idea when it's going to be done. So they just said there's no details to share, but keep your eyes peeled.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Like I said, that seems like something I thought they already had.
Right. They announced it 3 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Then they re-announced it again last year when they announced the Switch version. So, that's cool. Warframe is a huge game that you can play for free, and I wish we were sponsored by, because I would love to just sit here and talk about Warframe for 20 minutes. But, hey, DE, if you want to sponsor us, I'll talk about Warframe for 20 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool that people can, play with each other now, cross-platform. That was kind of a small one, but we got another one that's getting cross-play, which is Monster Hunter Rise.
How do you feel about this, Trey?
I'm actually really torn in a way that I don't quite know how well to get it across. So January 20th is when the crossplay's coming. And it's going to be coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC through Windows, Games for Windows Live, Game Pass, PS5, PS4, all of those, right? We'll be able to play with the Switch version and the Steam version, all crossplay. However, crossplay will not include Sunbreak. Sunbreak comes out in spring 2023 for everything else. So you can't play, if you're playing on Switch, you can't play the Sunbreak missions with everybody else until that DLC launches. Which feels really weird because if you've been playing it on Switch since launch, you're well past the point of those missions where you need any of those materials anymore. So, I don't know why they wouldn't do it all at the same time.
I don't know. That is a weird decision. I mean, maybe. I mean, there is a chance there's something in the code of that particular DLC or that particular expansion there that, that doesn't work the same
Yeah,
way.
it definitely could be.
But weird.
The other big annoying thing with it is there's no cross save.
Yeah.
So I've put probably 50 hours into the Switch version.
Yeah.
That game's going to run way better on PC, right? On my machine, things going to run way better. If I could transfer everything over on January 20th, I would probably pick up Monster Hunter Rise for PC because so much easier to record. Everything's going to look better,
Yeah, it's just, does that company, are they willing to give it the space to save your characters on their servers?
Right.
Not just your machine.
I don't think they are. I don't expect cross save to ever happen, which is where I'm I'm not upset, but I'm kind of disappointed because there's really no incentive for me to pick this game up on any other platforms.
True.
Why would I start over when I don't have to?
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's where we're at with that. This next part is where we're going to start getting into some weird stuff. And I wanted to balance out the highs and lows. So we had a good high there of Warframe getting crossplay, and then kind of a mid. Now we're going to dive down, and then hopefully we'll come back up again.
Okay.
What game do you really want? Gundam Breaker 4. That would be great. Annapurna has shut down some rumors. And this is a whole thing. I did a bunch of research on this. Basically, a while back, and by a while back, I mean 2 days ago, Xbox Era Podcast had a moment where one of the hosts, Nick, said that he believed that Neon White, Stalker Call of Pripyat, I understand. I definitely understand. Neon White, a game that Annapurna produces, was coming to Xbox Game Pass in the second half of December. Okay. He said that. He doesn't have any insider knowledge, but he said that, right? He claims that he does have a source that let him know that. However, what he said specifically was that he had heard rumors that it was coming in the back half of December to Game Pass. Annapurna put out an official statement that says, we understand that without our agreement, Xbox Era have put out a podcast yesterday that we are bringing Neon White to Xbox later this month. This is wrong, and we have not made any additional plans for December 2022. We will not be releasing another port this year. Now, good on them for making sure people understand. It feels a little harsh when the man was just saying that there were rumors. It was all speculation. Yeah. But I also understand he's on a podcast called Xbox Era that is run by Microsoft.
I can't really find fault with either side on this,
Yeah.
I mean, he heard a rumor.
Right.
And might have been a little bit excited about it. Turns out the rumor's not true, and it was dealt, like you said, maybe a little bit harshly, but it's definitely, there's no room for error.
Yeah, you can't have people go, well, I'm not going to buy your game on PlayStation or PC because I'm going to wait for it to come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're selling a product, you don't want people to think they're going to get it for free if they're not.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation, right? I believe the right course of action would have been to probably just word it a little different.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
The company's not wrong for putting their foot down and saying, hey, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So
Now, if it does come out
right,
at the end of December, there's a
right.
different discussion.
I also want to mention that this was a section of their podcast just for rumors, and whether an official Xbox podcast should be having a rumor section or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's maybe a discussion to be had,
right.
but I don't know. Either way, it has led to some controversy as people being a little upset and going, "Hey, you should get written agreement before you talk about this company ever again on their podcast, on your podcast." It's like, well, no, that like doesn't need that, you know.
Yeah. Let's sell it. Kind of coming from a weird spot, coming from something officially Xbox.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there are some people saying that it's all like a clever joke by Annapurna's social media manager using a copy pasta of an F1 tweet that was sent out before, but I couldn't find that F1 tweet, and all I could find were other people copy pasting what Annapurna said.
Okay.
So it could all be a work.
Yeah. Well,
And that's what makes it all seem even weirder to me, because based on how strange all this worked out, it absolutely could be an inside thing that they're doing on purpose to get people thinking about it.
another thing, why it was placed out as a rumor, right?
Yeah.
People are talking about it. We got some discussions going on. Stuff's getting copy and pasted, so
Yeah.
the names are moving, right? People are seeing them.
Yeah.
It's like okay. It's like when we talk about leaks.
Right.
Was that a leak?
Or was that
Somebody get really-
intentional?
Yeah. Did y'all kind of do that on purpose just to
Yeah.
kind of get the
Yeah.
I can see that aspect of it. Feels like
So-
that a little bit.
Regardless of how this turns out, it's a weird situation, and I've never seen anything quite like it. But next up, we have some good news. Hopefully, everybody will be excited about this. We got some patches.
Yes.
SD Gundam Battle Alliance got another patch. It's a little bit smaller of a patch than the previous ones. Will clued me into this one, and it came last Wednesday. And it's basically, let me get this pulled up here. He sent me the notes. Sub-weapons, rebalancing for some units. The Justice Gundam, its Basalt Beam Boomerang has been increased damage-wise. The Gusian Rebake Full Cities 110mm rifle has been fixed up a little bit. It will now always give a knockdown. The balancer gauge is 0. Legendary Gundam Special Attack sometimes wasn't hitting an enemy, so they fixed that. Night Gundams, Golden Dragon Bow, Moon Gundams, Psycho Plate Shield, She Gundams counterattacks against a specific boss, and the Penelope sub-weapon to funnel missiles. Weird stuff was going on with all those, so they fixed all that. And then just, hey, some units got better in the air, all told. High New Gundam, Crossbone X2, the Arios, the Kamars Vidar, the Latreia, and the Phoenix Gundam all now are better in the air. So just a nice little hey, we're still patching this game. We're still trying to make it better. We're still fixing bugs. We're still making everything flow better.
Sounded like a lot of, they keep tweaking the balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hey, these units aren't doing as well, so we're going to move them up. We don't see people playing them as much, so we're going to move. Which is really interesting because you don't see that very often in single-player games. Or co-op games. There is no online versus here. So really interesting to see. But great for fans of the game. They're still making it better.
Yeah.
Next up, Elden Ring is getting a free update.
Okay.
They're adding a Coliseum, and more specifically, they're adding the Coliseum that's in the game right now, but you can't enter. And so on, I believe it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. There will be an update, and you'll be able to go into the Coliseum and play some pretty interesting PvP modes of hey, you can summon one summon, and your opponent can summon one summon, and then it's you with your summon versus them with their summon. or 3-on-3 matches where you can't use summons, or what if you had a mode that's basically Pokemon with your summons, where you each summon a summon and your summons fight each other.
Okay.
That's kind of cool, man.
Yeah. And all this is free, you say, coming tomorrow.
Yeah, all free. And the hope is that this means that they're going to be announcing a DLC at the Game Awards, and this is just to try and, like, build up for it. Sent me a bit more. Oh, did I miss some stuff?
From the Gundam patch?
I did. Okay. If drops were placed in an inaccessible area because of a specific mission, when an enemy ace unit, if it dies too high up in the air, they've now corrected that, where the drops go where they should go.
So no more throwing controllers.
Yeah.
And they die in the wrong spot. Okay.
No worries, man. Thank you for sending it to me. But yeah, this is cool. This is something they could have kept to a DLC. Like, hey, this DLC also unlocks the Coliseum. And instead they just gave it away. Which also means they've been working on it in the background to make it work, because it was cut content. It originally was supposed to be in the main game. The files were already there for, like, there were triggers inside the Coliseum you can't enter to do things. So, just cool that they put it out for free instead of charging for it, like they did for all of the other Coliseums and all of the other games. I'm not salty. But, of course, people are mad because they didn't announce more DLC, but...
Right.
Either way, the arena's there now. You can play it. Now, this next one is really interesting because we've talked about Valheim before.
A while back, yeah.
The Mistlands update they had promised a while back has launched. It is available now, and it is a pretty substantial change. They made like an animated release trailer for it, which they didn't really need to do, my personal opinion, but it's cool. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the abbreviated patch notes because there is full patch notes, but they have spoilers in there or like new stuff that's in the game. And for people that play these survival games that love to experience things firsthand, I don't want to just spoil that for everybody.
Fair enough.
So I'll give you they have both abbreviated and full. Brand new biome, which is the Mistlands, that includes new mechanics. Don't know yet what those are. I have been playing around with this a little bit. I didn't want to talk about it earlier because I wanted to save it for now. I've been playing around with this a little bit this morning, and there's some cool stuff. But 9 new creatures, so 9 new enemy mobs, and a brand new boss, which is pretty substantial, seeing that this is a free update.
Yeah.
Most games would make you pay for this, right? And I'm not just trying to hype up Valheim, because I'm one of the people that was going, hey, this expansion was supposed to be out last year. But it's out now, and it's free, so I'm not going to complain too much. More than 20 new crafting materials. 2 new crafting stations, one of which I made today, and is really cool. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I am going to put Spoiler Lubu up to talk about this. This one, Spoiler Lubu's off-center. Oh, no. We'll fix it later. There's a cartography table in the game now. And it means that if you're playing with other people, one of the biggest problems that game has is you can't ping stuff on their map for them to be able to see where you've put markers. But the cartography table allows you to register the changes you've made to your map. And then other people can update their map with what you've marked.
Interesting.
So you can point out stuff for them to find, stuff like that. 3 crafting station extensions. Watching on Twitch on your phone, watching on Twitch on your computer, does that count? It does count. Thank you. Actually, it's the same Twitch account, so I don't think it gives like 2 views, but it helps our watch time. So thank you.
Yeah.
3 other resource crafting constructions. Don't know what those are yet. 15 new food items. 3 new potions. More than 25 new craftable items, weapons, armors, and tools. More than 35 new building furniture pieces for building, decorating, and defending your base. Which, you know, that's the whole point of this game, is to build a cool base, right? A new type of dungeon. New lore stones, new dreams, and new music. Which is all cool. Fishing update. There's fishing in the game now. Look, you tell me fishing's in your game, I'm gonna try it. Uh, 12 new emotes, 9 new hairstyles, 7 new beard styles, special Yule items that you can make. I understand, Waverly. As well as some console command improvements, animations updating, multiple VFX have been updated and various other tweaks. Only fishes the whole time. I mean, I like to fish. One thing they don't mention that they changed from playing around with it this morning is the grass. Like, they made a new set of plants that are on the ground, and as you, like, ferns, and as you move through them, they, like, shift around you, and I kept thinking enemies were behind me because I kept seeing things shift behind me. I'll get used to it, but it's kind of a cool effect, so. Either way, pretty cool new free update. The only problem I have with it is you can't just update your pre-existing worlds. You can try to run them with it updated. Now you're over on YouTube too? Awesome. Thank you. You can try to run it there in your pre-existing world, but they can't guarantee that all of the new stuff in the Mistlands will generate there. And so it's better to just make a new world, which is unfortunate because then you have to drag all your stuff to a new server and build a new base there, and it means that you don't get to immediately just go see the cool new stuff, Either way, it's finally out, so there we go. No longer alone. YouTube as well, but can't get chat to work. Oh no, that's unfortunate. But we appreciate everybody watching on YouTube and on Twitch. It really does mean a lot. We will not be going on Kick. So, the last patch that I have to talk about tonight is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are getting a patch, which is pretty cool because they're the best-selling Pokemon games they've had in a long time, and they don't have to do that. Like, they could just not,
Yeah.
I'm glad they are. Basically, this update will have Season 1 of ranked battles, so people can use the Battle Stadium in-game to do ranked battles against each other. And then another issue's been fixed that caused music to not play correctly during battles with the Elite Four and the Champion, which is a huge shame if you just didn't get those themes because they're really good. And then they've also done a lot of bug fixing. They are aware of players may encounter, thank you for that quack, players may encounter issues that affect the game's performance. They're aware that happens. Waverly's quack I saw. Their goal is to always give players a positive experience with the games, they say. They apologize for the inconvenience, and we take feedback from players seriously and are working on improvements to the game. So hopefully they fix the FPS, and then I'm happy.
Yeah.
But
it might go a little bit beyond that. But it's kind of to be expected now, right?
Yeah, it is.
You release the game, we're going to get a patch a little bit later.
Yeah, they're going to fix it eventually.
Yeah.
Or if it's got Denuvo, they'll remove Denuvo, and then it'll run fine. So, can you trade Pokemon? You absolutely can trade Pokemon between the versions. 100%.
That's cool.
There are some Pokemon that only evolve by trading. This last bit of news is the one that I spent the most time on this week. It started last week, and I saved it. I didn't talk about it last week because I wanted to wait for you to get here, and I'm glad I did. Not just because, got to have you a part of this because it's definitely an interesting discussion, but also because it's gotten way worse.
Okay.
I gotta hide it. We can't give them any money. They gotta pay us first. Like a Metapod. Yeah, like a Metapod. Favorite Pokemon is Sprigatito. Sprigatito's pretty great. I went with Fuecoco, but Sprigatito's pretty great. So, let's talk about Smash tournaments.
Wow.
Now, if we talk about... It is the Weed Cat. It is. If we talk about Smash, something's gone wrong. Because how I feel about Super Smash Brothers tournaments.
Yeah.
I made it very clear on this podcast. I think that Smash tournaments are a problem because almost always they allow people to prey on minors in a way that I'm super not okay with, and far too many pro players that played Smash went after minors. However, this time I'm on the Smash player's side, and that's a weird feeling. So,
Oh gosh. Okay.
let me set this story up for you because it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a little bit.
You're gonna have.
Basically, Smash World Tour has tournaments every year. But this year, they decided to do something a little bit different. They decided, and they had tournaments all year this year too, but this year they did a circuit tournament. So each tournament built up to the final tournament that was going to be in December. Players earned points all throughout the year to be able to play, and the two games that were going to be played were Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, this goes deep. There was another circuit that was announced this year by a company called Panda. Panda has been doing a bunch of stuff with esports for a long time. They picked up a bunch of popular Melee players and Smash Ultimate players, such as Plub. For anybody who knows Plub, one of the best Melee players in the world, and tried to pick up more. They wanted to make their mark as they had their own circuit and they could do it. However, this is where things start getting dastardly. The CEO of Panda is a man named Dr. Allen.
Okay.
Allen decided that Panda needed to be the only place, basically, doing Smash tournaments. And so he started going around to smaller tournaments and insinuating that, it'd be a real shame if Nintendo found out you were doing a Smash tournament and didn't have a license from them to do a Smash tournament. Which, there's always been an unspoken rule for Smash tournaments, which is, if I wish Muttley was involved, maybe he could have stopped this. The unspoken rule has been, we don't talk to Nintendo, and Nintendo doesn't talk to us. We do our own thing. We don't try to get Nintendo involved in the tournaments, and Nintendo lets us be. Now, Nintendo stepped in a couple years back at EVO. I don't know if you remember that or not. Nintendo said, hey, Smash is being used for child predation. We don't appreciate that. You can't play at EVO anymore on the main stage.
Yeah.
Which EVO stopped letting them play on the main stage. Nintendo put their foot down. There were far too many stories that come up, far too many legal problems that came up. Nintendo put their foot down. But they've never gotten involved with other companies that have been running tournaments, right? So it's always been, we don't talk to them, they don't talk to us, we do our thing, they pretend we don't exist. Smash World Tour has gone with that policy for a long time. But Mr. Allen went to smaller tournaments and said, hey, it sure would be a shame if Nintendo found out you were playing without a license. You should probably not have your tournament, because I hear they're getting really serious about this kind of thing. And obviously I'm paraphrasing what he said.
Yeah.
But the intent was pretty clear. And so smaller tournaments started shutting down. Well, Smash World Tour put out a statement on the 29th that says, it is with an unbelievably heavy heart that we must announce that both the upcoming Smash World Championships as well as the 2023 Smash World Tour must be canceled. Without any warning, we received notice the night before Thanksgiving from Nintendo that we could no longer operate. This was especially shocking given our discourse with Nintendo the past 12 months. Since then, we have been working around the clock to take the proper steps logistically, as well as to prepare the statement with proper legal guidance. We are seriously grateful for all the support over the years, and we're incredibly proud of what we were able to build as a community. In 2022 alone, we connected over 6,400 live events worldwide, with over 325,000 in-person events, making the Smash World Tour the largest esports tour in history for any game title. The championship would also have had the largest prize pool in Smash history at over 250,000. 2023 Smash World Tour planned to have a prize pool of over 350,000. That being said, we are truly devastated that this is being taken away. And they talk about how heavy the impact that the tour is being canceled has, how much money they have lost as a company that's been wrapped up in all this, how upset they are with everything going on. They're trying to get people back the money they paid in and to refund all the tickets. But what's really disappointing to them is Nintendo, over the last couple weeks, has been telling them how excited they are for this tournament, and now they do this. And then they say, we truly believe things were progressing positively for quite some time. We had kept all this progress quiet, but especially in light of both Nintendo and their partner Panda's actions this year, we wanted to take the opportunity to write an open letter to Nintendo, as we don't know how much the higher-ups at Nintendo are even aware of the history and context of the last few years. So that's when people went, wait, Panda's partner with Nintendo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dick Dastardly seems to have somehow set off the people with say-sos in Nintendo.
He called in the Nintendogs, you might say.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you might say that, I guess.
So Panda put out a statement in response to this that basically is just like, hey, the team that manages and administers the Panda Cup has worked diligently to create an exciting, welcoming environment for competitive Smash. We are all as surprised as the public to see the announcement of the Smash World Tour's cancellation, as well as the accompanying statement, which attacks the hard work and ethics of those behind the Panda team. They go on to talk about how any collusion is definitely false, and they're excited to see a fruitful year of competition come from their tournament. They then say that Panda's listened to the community and changed some of their approaches to working with tournaments based on that feedback. The Smash World Tour statement, there's a number of accusations leveled against Dr. Allen, the CEO of Panda. In reality, Dr. Allen, as Nintendo of America has corroborated, has been one of the more vocal supporters of the broader community and the Smash World Tour organizers in internal conversations. We're not going to show you into those conversations, but you got to believe us.
Yeah. This just sounds like, honestly, it just sounds like a bunch of backhanded business stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Faith. They never actually outright made an attack. It's just, hey, this is a little interesting here. And that was the thing that people were supposed to fall back on. And they did. And so people went after Panda pretty hard because of this. In response to both of those, Nintendo issued a statement, which is only making things worse. Nintendo says, any partner that we grant a license to has to meet the high standards we require when it comes to the health and safety of our fans.
A little bit late for that on the Smash front.
Yeah, for sure. And you could take that and say, well, that makes sense, right? Nintendo realized that Evo was a problem because of what was going on there, and so now they're trying to make sure that health and safety concerns are taken care of. And Smash World Tour just must not have been meeting those standards, right? Except Panda's still allowed to have their tournament, and Panda copy-pasted Smash World Tour's health and safety guidelines and didn't even remove the SWT logo from the guidelines. So clearly SWT was following the guidelines.
Yeah.
Nintendo also goes on to say that, hey, we're open to partner with other organizations and we'll continue to offer licenses for major tournaments outside of the Panda Cup. Panda Global will continue to be a key partner, and we look forward to receiving proposals from other groups for tournament licenses. Yeah. In the meantime, Panda continues to advocate on behalf of the Super Smash Bros. Community, even to the point that Panda has advocated for other organizations and tournaments to work with Nintendo. Now, there's some more context that's come out since then, which is that some people issued for a license back in March and still haven't heard back from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Now, this all comes to a head when people continued to make a fit out of it and saying, hey, this is not right. Something's very wrong here. Some DMs between Allen and other tournament organizers were leaked where he openly threatened them. And Allen was gonna just keep rocking until Panda employees started quitting. Panda players started quitting, including Plub.
Ah.
And Panda went into panic mode and ousted their CEO.
Wow.
Dr. Allen is now attempting to get his company back and says that he has proof that he did none of the things he's been accused of. But Panda has put out another statement that basically says, hey, we realize that things are not good right now. He messed up, and we have to pay for it, so we're canceling the Panda Cup.
Nobody.
So now nobody gets to play.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody's going to play. Look, in a weird way, I wouldn't mind if you got rid of Smash Brothers tournaments, but it just...
Not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
Panda says they're going to come back next year and try to do things right. They're inviting people that want to come from SWT that want to join their company. Now's probably not the time to try and get them to join your company, but
yeah,
yeah,
but man, because that's the thing though, right? We talked about players, we talked about publishers, but the you got the people that just work in the companies there, kind of in the middle.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that just didn't have any sway on this at all either.
Yep.
Yep.
So
it makes sense.
It's I'm right with you in that I don't necessarily think we need Smash tournaments, but this was not the way that this should have gone down. And the fact that he was able to just do this is ridiculous to me. He knows somebody at Nintendo, clearly.
Yeah. He's trying to corner the market, expand your profits. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So that's where we're at on that. That story has evolved probably as far as it's going to go. I doubt that we'll see anything big come out for it. And again, there was a lot of stuff that come out about this. People sending death threats to people at Pandas. People sending death threats to people at Nintendo. The average employee of any of those companies has no part in this.
Yeah.
They're just doing their job. If you choose not to support Nintendo because of this, I get it. That's your choice. But don't go after the employees.
Right.
They're just trying to make money for their families. It's never okay to send death threats to people's employees. You should not be doing that. So, yeah. That's where all this shakes out.
All right.
We covered that a lot faster than I thought we would, honestly.
Yeah. Well, there's always pushing and whining between higher ups that you can put up with,
Yep. For sure.
All
right. Well, let's throw it over to your corner.
Okay. All right. So, as always, we start out with a happy birthday.
Sometimes I get excited and talk fast. That's very true. That's very true.
That is true. So, but
for
today's birthday. Huh?
Somebody got an ad. Roxanne got an ad. We're going into Rungren's Corner.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So we'll start off with the birthday. Today's birthday is Elian Gonzalez's birthday.
Okay.
Now, that may not ring out right now for you, okay? But if I go around 2000, there was a crisis between the United States and Cuba over a little boy. And there's going to be a famous picture of him being held and he like trying to hide in a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Elian Gonzalez.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Yeah, he was born in 1993. Yeah. That was a little boy caused an international incident between the United States and Cuba. But I figure some of y'all out there are going to remember that. Or at least have that picture in your head. Yes. But his birthday. Okay, I found something interesting today. I want to go over these because normally I talk about we've talked many times about true the animal uprising around the world.
Right.
Everything from the ants taking over our technology to rats knocking out power grids.
Right.
There's many dangers, but it's not all hopeless. I got a few little stories here to say that there are animals out there that don't just hate us. They're
Yeah.
still wild animals. Don't go pet them.
Okay.
Okay. So one comes from the Philippine Navy. A 62-year-old woman named and forgive me if I ruined this, Candelaria
Okay.
Villanueva, uh, was in a shipwreck, and she survived 2 days on a sea turtle's back. Who,
Oh.
when she got on the back, swam up at the surface. She was surface 2 days on the sea turtle's back. When she was pulled onto the Navy ship and rescued, the sea turtle swam the ship around the ship 3 times before swimming off and did everything.
Wow.
Now, this happens over and over again. So I don't think I want some pushback against the narrative that the wildlife is against us.
Right.
Because there's a researcher named Nan Hauser, swimming,
Okay.
right? A humpback whale, which is a very, very large animal. I don't
Yes.
care that it's not a meat eater. One little flap of the thing, you're gone. You're gone. It goes to swim, and it hits you with a fin, you're dead.
Right.
Right? It kept pushing her. And look, there's not much you can do underwater when a humpback whale decides to push you. So she was getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
But then she noticed that there was she managed to see around and see a huge, huge tiger shark.
Yeah.
And the humpback whale had got between her and was keeping her away from the tiger shark. And as big and mean as a tiger shark is, it wasn't going to mess with
Right.
the humpback whale. And it's not only the marine animals that are doing this. It was just she was hanging on the back of the turtle. She had managed to crawl up. The way she explained it, she managed to crawl up and hold on to the shell.
Nice.
And I figure over the 2 days, she probably slept on that shell too.
Probably.
Now, in Ontario, Canada, a small boy was camping with his parents. He decided to stay up at the camp while his parents went out in the boat. The boat capsized,
Oh.
and he watched both his parents go down. So he tried to walk back into town. Now, this is in Ontario. And it got night. He got very cold, got very sleepy. He went to sleep.
Bad situation.
Yes. Now in the middle of the night, he kind of rolled over and there was some soft hair rubbing with his skin. And he was kind of out of it. He thought it was a dog snuggling up to him and he went back to sleep. Right. But the following morning, he discovered that 3 wild beavers had kept him warm and safe all night.
Good
They
job,
had clumped up
beavers.
around him. Yeah. Now the temperatures are below 0.
Right.
This is freezing. And got saved by 3 beavers. Well, then look, a beaver will eat your hand off.
Yeah.
You're not. This one's a little weird. This was a little weird too, okay? A 12-year-old girl was going home from school. This was in June, and she was ambushed and taken by 4 guys.
Okay.
They were going to put her into a forced marriage. And to sell her into a forced marriage. It went through a week of this. The police were catching up with them. So the kidnappers trying to relocate. Well, the girl started screaming, and a pride of lions ran in and took care of the kidnappers.
Wow.
Yes. Now, not only that, they took care, and a couple of kidnappers ran and got away with that. Not only that, then they stood vigil over the girl until the authorities arrived, and they stayed back as the authorities got her, and she was rescued and returned home
Awesome.
unharmed. All right. Crazy things in the world. There's some animals out there. They don't hate us. A girl, Amber Madison, she was 8 years old. Okay. Now she lived in Thailand and she was separated. She was separated from her family. Well, it's a tsunami that hit Thailand. Uh, Now she probably would have been carried away.
Yeah.
But there was an elephantess named Ningnong. And as the first wave hit, the elephant picked the little 8-year-old up, put her on her back, carried her to high ground. And then when the big wave came, the big elephant turned its body to keep the little girl away from it,
Break the
saving her
wave.
from the breaking wave. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's awesome.
I know. I got one more.
Yeah. Hit me with
One
it.
more.
I love
All
these.
right. Okay. Todd Endress, a surfer in California. He was savagely attacked by a great white shark on 3 occasions. Now, me, I wouldn't be going back to the water,
Right. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. But he got him on his back and his right leg sliced him up. But on one of the attacks, he was saved by a pod of dolphins who stood at the shark and forced it to leave the surfer alone. Actually, it took a long time. The surfer was floating around as these dolphins battled the shark. And then they formed like a wall around him and pretty much forced him to go back up on the beach.
Nice.
And it hurt him. They're like, we're taking you back up here,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. You don't belong here.
Yeah. We're going to take you back to the shore. You need to stay up there.
That's
but
great.
I was wanting to bring some good news. Yeah, after that first time, that would be enough for me. It's like, you know, I've done through that. Now,
Awesome.
yeah,
Dolphins can be very mean, but sometimes they help people.
Yes, yeah. No, as great as these stories sound, make no mistake. At the end of the day, these animals were on their side,
right?
And for some reason, these very lucky people, it worked out for them.
Don't swim with dolphins unless you have proper protection and the right teaching, and you've trained for it.
They do hate sharks. They will use that cute little bottlenose of theirs to beat a shark to death.
Yeah. Yep.
They definitely have some issues. But for that surfer that day.
Yeah. I saw a picture of a hammerhead once that had been beaten by a pod of dolphins, and there was a dent right behind his eye that was probably never going to heal. That was it was visible where they'd hit him in that same spot so many times.
Yeah. And after the dolphins were like, yeah, get out.
I'm gone. See ya.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah. Oh man. Now, did want to mention real quick. I saw the comment about the YouTube lag. We can't fix that, unfortunately. Even if we just stream on YouTube, the lag slowly starts to stretch out.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I don't understand why it happens, but the longer we go, the worse it gets, which means Thursday stream, that lag's going to get real bad. That at some point, that lag might get up to like 10 minutes. But just, keep that in mind. Yeah, we've got the next chunk of our podcast that we do every week that I'm really excited for. And I've got an update to it to make it actually possible for YouTube side, which is we got to talk about your assignment.
Okay.
Now, we got some stuff here. And what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to not look at the stream for a minute.
Not look at the restream?
Yeah, don't look at the video. You can look at the chat, just don't look at the video.
I got just chat up.
Yeah, because I'm going to put the 2 game options in a Twitch poll, and then I'm going to put them on screen for the YouTube people, who will be able to then.
Okay.
And that should make it where everybody gets a chance to vote. And if you're on both platforms, I know, I'm watching. I'm only going to count 1 vote. All right. And just again, for anybody who doesn't know, we put these up and do, I'm actually going to make it a longer poll this time by another minute for the YouTube people. But I have these in a random number generator. That's how they get selected. So have the poll up now, and I will put these on stream now where people can see them. And the options are these two. Again, don't say the names in the chat. We don't want to let him know. These are the options for YouTube. Currently covering up my face, but that's fine. Tell me top or bottom, YouTube, one or two, not top or bottom, one or two. Let's go one or two. One being the one on the top, two being the one on the bottom.
Yeah. Yes. Do you want me to go number 1 or number 2 on stream? Wait, no.
Yeah. That's still better than asking top or bottom on stream. Okay. So right now we have 3 votes for number 1.
Okay.
The poll has an additional 2 minutes still to go. Maybe shouldn't have done 3 minutes in hindsight. In hindsight, probably should have just done the regular 2 minutes. But I wanted to make sure YouTube people could vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I plug Thursday's show. It's gonna be different.
Yeah,
we'll be in the same location, but we do have some D&D 1 stuff that will be coming for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at some stuff, but for this week, we're going to be watching the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Excited. Do we have a record of what we voted on those?
Yes, I will pull that up before Thursday. I will have that ready on my laptop.
Nice. Okay. See how well us in chat predicted.
Finally getting that D&D pay. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go back through and just record it all down in a docket and then have it ready to go.
Okay.
I think we made a highlight of that too, so that'll make it easy. Just watch the highlight instead of having to find it.
Yeah. See if it's in there.
All right, we have about 40 seconds left on the vote. I will take this time to say for anybody who doesn't know how this works, what time for the Game Awards? That we'll be starting a little bit early.
Will.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're going to be starting probably a few minutes before 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe the Game Awards starts at 6:30, and we'll try to get up and be running a little bit before that.
Yeah, and they'll have a pre-show that they do. They do a pre-show like every year, but it's normally just people talking. And that's really difficult for us to not just talk over. They don't have any visuals. They don't have any show, so we'll probably get started around 6:20, 6:25, somewhere in there. All right. The vote is done. Game you will be assigned. Your assignment is The Beast Within. Or The Beast Inside. Sorry. I got the name wrong.
Ooh.
You'll be returning to The Beast Inside.
Okay.
This time, hopefully, you catch the ghost on screen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that again. I'll run that for a couple hours. Anybody in chat shows up. I kind of almost want to restart it.
It's up to you. I think you could definitely get further in the same amount of time if you restart it, because now you know what you need to do.
Yeah, true.
Up to you.
Sounds good. Okay, that's kind of that was a surprise. That is a surprise.
I'm really surprised because the other game is a new game. Not like a new, it just came out this year, but like a new game that you haven't streamed yet.
Yeah.
That is perfect for you, and I cannot wait for you to get it. But
it stays on the list.
I'm gonna keep sticking with the RNG. I'm not gonna game this thing. So
right.
So yeah, let's talk about what's coming up.
Awesome. Glad you'll be here tomorrow. Okay. Yes, you've been calling it for a while, Faith. And you've been wanting this, so we'll go back to that.
It'll be fun. So yeah, tomorrow Rundgren is going to be streaming The Beast Inside, which is a horror game, just so everybody knows, but it's not too spooky.
It's
although
it seems to be jump scares, not gory.
I was gonna say I say that, but it got both you and me when I watched it. Hey, Will, thanks for watching on both. Thursday, we'll be doing the Game Awards again. Get there a little bit early if you want to watch it live with us as compared to our usual time. But it's a long stream. It goes till like 9:30. So, we'll be there. We'll be there.
Right.
It's going to be a good time. And then Friday, I'll be painting. Sisters. That's right. That one crack didn't get him. Because last Friday, I finished the heavy arms. What do you think?
Look
You like them?
those guns. Look at those guns.
These are supposed to be gray.
Hey, no.
Those guns are supposed to be gray. They're not. They're very light blue.
Get there. Get there. I'll get there.
So, I don't know why they decided to do that when they're supposed to be gray, but, at some point we'll repaint the gunpla that are wrong and fix it. And then Monday, of course, we'll be back with him on Monday.
Yes.
Really stoked for the section of the game that we're in right now. We got to find that Nazgul.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that.
Next Tuesday.
We got a good venture coming up.
Oh, yeah. Next Tuesday, we'll have the podcast, but it'll be a special podcast because we'll be covering the stuff that happened at the Game Awards, and that'll probably be the show for the most part. We might have a couple of reviews, but there'll be a lot of announcements and a lot of news to talk about. We'll have a full breakdown of that stuff. And don't forget, of course, throughout the month, this is the last month of the year, which means Game of the Year stuff will be coming up soon. The Road to GOTY is going to get started again this next week. Or this week, depending, which means we'll be going back and checking out games that came out from the start of the year and working our way forward. That I own. I'm not going to buy games specifically for the Road to GOTY. It's too close to GOTY for that. But we'll have some cool stuff coming. So please look forward to all that. And, I'm excited. I hope all of you are too. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I don't know. Are you? I'm thinking that was.
I am. Plugs.
Oh, okay.
You got any plugs, Ruckert?
No, I just want to say a big thank you. Everybody hangs out with us. That is awesome. Appreciate your comments. You know how I feel about you, how special you are. Took thousands of years to make you. Millions and millions of people.
Yep.
Never been anything like you. Never will again. And the little time that we had together really means a lot. So thank you.
It really does make the show when we got fun stuff going on. Not just between you and me. It's not just the riffing, right? It's also the riffing with the chat. And,
absolutely.
Last week's podcast was very different.
I came to laugh at you.
There it is. But at least still had the chat to fall back on. Like, chat was there. If nobody got me, I know chat got me.
Okay.
But, I'm going to plug, this is a weird plug for me. I've never plugged this channel before. I'm going to plug Airrack.
Okay.
Because I watched a video of them playing Capture the Flag I was about to say in real life, like that's not a thing people already do, but like across a city, and it was really interesting, and that guy just makes some weird, cool stuff. If we had that kind of money, we'd be making weird stuff like that too. But just some cool content, cool stuff there. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was another one I was going to talk about, but I don't remember what it is. I watched a Lotro YouTuber this week talking about subscribing in Lotro and whether it was worth it or not.
Yeah.
And I was going to try and shout that out, and I can't remember the name of that channel, but it's a cool video.
Oh, yeah. Right, maybe remember it for next week.
Maybe so.
Find out who it is.
Well, with all that said, then, was a brain fart for sure. I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life has to offer.